Christopher is actually going to release some ladybugs. Oh, they're so, see, they're just, oh, they're flying away. They're like, we're out of here, man. Can't wait for all of you to get your floral fancies. I love that one too.
Yeah.
Welcome to our channel. We're filming a bit of a day in the life here. This is the back of our doll shop where we have two giant semis that are full of all kinds of things. But we are working today. Christopher is actually going to release some ladybugs on our roses, so I thought that that would be a really fun thing to film. And then we're going to show you some of the samples that we have things that are in the works for this summer, which is what we're going to be putting out like in between subscriptions, which is going to be super fun. And we're just going to hang out and do fun stuff at the doll shop. So join us, follow along, and yeah, let's go talk to Christopher and look at these ladybugs. As a side note, when I was growing up, my mom used to buy the little ladybugs in the mesh bags at the gardening store, and as a child, I thought it was the most coolest thing ever to see those little ladybugs. And one time she let me even take them to school. They are so cool in that little bag. So we're gonna, it brought back a lot of nostalgia. If you release ladybugs in your gardens, let me know, but it is time. Spring is, we're in full bloom. I think it's not quite summer yet, but we're freshening things up around here. So let's go check it. Hey, Christopher.
Hi.
What are we doing out here today?
We're playing gardener. We have a moderate to severe case of aphids. So I sprayed a whole bunch of them down like 3 different times yesterday with soapy water. And today I have ladybugs, and I read online that maybe ladybugs also enjoy sort of a sweeter, incentive to nest in your roses. And I don't have it readily accessible, but I did have an orange earlier, and so I did a little bit of orange drippings on.
Oh, we have honey though.
Like we have like crystallized honey.
Oh,
so
it has to be like fresh.
Well, it has to be something you can use, right? So I did some dripping of, a little bit of orange juice on things, and it says to not release them during the day because the sun will sort of encourage them to fly off, but we're not here in the evenings, so I'm gonna try a little bit of, watering them down, getting them just nice and moist and wet, and then we'll release some ladybugs and see what happens. Hopefully they take and help, get our garden under control.
We're freshening it up a little bit. We redid this I want to show them the ladybugs. Let's look at this little bag. Where'd they go? Are they over here? Oh yeah, look at these. If you've never seen a bag of ladybugs.
I've been trying to keep them cool in the shade, but
look at that. That is so fun. And were they just hung up at the store?
Yeah, I was asking for, where are live ladybugs, and they told me that they had a bunch by the register. So we will see about getting these sort of divvied up on different bushes. And it says that this should be enough for a small yard. I might go back and get a second thing of them before my next shift to see if we can get more of them to take. But I think we might have company.
I love ladybugs. Well, this is so sweet. This happens actually quite a lot, but we're like a little orphanage for doll collectors, and they bring things. So this gentleman just dropped off his little F&B doll from the 30s, but the flirty eyes, hopefully you can get in and see the flirty eyes are really fun. And it looks like it has its original kid skin wig. And this was his mom's doll, and he just couldn't bear to take it to a thrift store or anything like that. And even though we have a lot of examples, we can't really buy it, but I said we'd take it in and give it a good home. So sometimes we give them away, sometimes they go in our displays and stuff like that. But as we were talking about the ladybugs, he literally walked up and donated this. So I think that that's very sweet. I really appreciate it, especially being a mother and also having a mother that was a doll collector. All of her dolls mean so much to me, whether they're monetarily valuable or not. They just mean so much to you, and you don't want to just have that be thrown away into a dumpster or anything. So I'm not saying send us all your dolls, but this did just happen of just a local person that dropped off his doll, and I think it's a very, very sweet doll. What do you think, Christopher?
Yeah, I love that face. The eyes are really expressive.
Yeah, and the eyelashes are in really good condition. So
yeah.
What do you think, Michael? Michael's. It's a composition doll. Yeah, it's called flirty eyes.
Oh.
When the eyes move back and forth.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, that's beautiful. Yeah.
So I'm going to go actually put on some sunscreen because I feel myself burning up, and I've only been out here 5 minutes.
It's hot.
It's hot. So anyway, we'll put this somewhere, and it even has a little
rocker.
A little rocking chair. Yeah. Do you want the rocking chair, Michael?
Sure.
You can give that to Roxy. His cat's only 6 pounds. She might like that.
Oh, she will. I'll get her to sit in that for sure. And
Yeah.
I'll take a picture of it.
Okay, he's gonna take a picture and send it.
I just wanted to say to all of you that sent letters and cards, I read them all the time and I burst into tears. I love the love that you sent me. It has helped me so much. I soon will be back on the job because my surgery's soon. And Roxy, she's 6 pounds and she's enjoying life. So God bless each and every one of you for all caring for me that much. I love you.
All right, so right now Christopher's trying to get some water underneath the leaves.
Just trying to get them properly wet so that when the ladybugs actually got a kink in my hose.
And Paul's getting a new hose because this one has holes in 7 places or something. Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, I'm hoping that it says online in a number of places to not try to do this during the day when it's warm and bright and hot, but that they would probably take better to an evening release. So I just want to try to get these as cool as possible and see if that helps. I actually got rid of quite a bit of the aphids yesterday. So I hope I've left them enough food to eat. Apparently they also eat dead aphids, so maybe we're in luck, I don't know. Anyway, this feels pretty good, so I will grab those ladybugs and see if we can get those going. So I've never done this before, and I enjoy kind creepy crawlers. I'm not much of a bug person, I'm sure that comes as a shock. But these ones aren't, they're not real bugs, they're ladies. I just don't know how to do it. So
My mom used to just kind of open it and just kind of like
sort of shake them.
shake them out. Yeah.
Feels aggressive.
That's how I remember. Like, how else are you supposed to get them out?
I don't know.
Like, you could take some of the food or whatever that is in there.
Well, their new food is going to be aphids, so...
I feel like we need to leave food for them. Do they have ladybug food?
Not that I am aware of. But I remember seeing some aphids on this one. I was looking earlier, trying to find... Oh, okay.
Oh.
We've got entry. I need to give them a little bit more. Oop. I need to give them a little bit more. Oop. Not that way, sir. Ma'am.
Oh, see, now they're just flying away. Oh, they're flying away. They're like, we're out of here, man.
I want to give you a wider exit point.
They just see their freedom and they're out of here. If you're a gardener and you know what you're doing, it's too late.
Yeah.
By the time you watch this video.
I think that's really aggressive, but we're just gonna see what happens.
You're just putting them on like sprinkles?
Yeah, I think that's really aggressive. I hope they're okay.
I think they're fine. Look, they're just so happy to be out. Kind of hard to see in there, but they're in there. See?
Oh no. Okay.
See that one right there?
I am confident that they're not all alive, which makes me sad, but we've got some new friends.
Well, how can they all survive? Oh yeah, they're landing on me. They're not all going to be alive. Wow. Oh, you're just shaking them all out. Yeah. There's a lot of
not alive. And I
some
feel
are
bad.
not alive. No.
But some of them are. Good place to start.
Yeah, they're figuring it out.
This one likes me. I would like to leave you here, sir. Oh, thank you. These ones, at this time of day, these bushes stay kind of covered, so these might be ones that I can integrate them onto, and then maybe they will sort of migrate to the other ones. I don't know. I'm not sure how this works.
Wow. You're just kind of like sprinkling them out.
Right. Yeah, it feels like evicting them from their new home.
You could probably just leave that thing in one of the rose bushes and let them kind of climb out.
It's not a bad idea. Maybe I'll do that over here. I got this one, right? A little bit. Excuse me, sir. Can I give you a new home? I would like you to live here. Please. Hey, all right. We're making progress. Yeah.
If you're at all new or new-ish to our channel, this is a doll shop that my mom owned. It was actually a bank-owned property that she got, never thinking that they would actually take the offer because she didn't have very much money at the time. And she made an offer of everything that she could afford at the time, which was about 40 years ago, and they took it. And then just little by little, she fixed it up, and my dad helped a ton, my brothers, Stanley, and made it just the most beautiful antique shop on the block. And then she slowly started just getting into doing dolls. And then it became the biggest antique doll shop in Colorado, and definitely one of the biggest in the nation, and probably one of the biggest in the world at this point, for sure. And it is still a doll shop.
Not exactly typical content today.
No, we're releasing Ladybugs, but hey, this is what we're doing.
I've taken it upon myself to be the keeper of the roses. And some of these have been here for decades, so I want to, treat them right. And I think that means that we need lots of ladybugs.
I don't think that's enough ladybugs,
I think,
because they're all just jumping ship.
allegedly, we're also to expect some babies at some point. I think that's sort of the other part of this. No, I know that I'm sweet. I want you to go to the leaves. Yeah, I think I might go back and get more. I don't know. We're expecting babies, so there might be babies to come. But in the meantime, I might just leave this
Yeah, I would just leave it and let them kind of crawl out.
in here and see if they feel inclined to get a new home. Well,
The ladybugs have been
hitchhikers?
released. Step one.
Yeah. I'll avoid using any other sort of detergents or chemicals. I've only put, Dawn dish soap on them so far. And that seems to do some good work. I'll be damned if we get a whole bunch of rosebuds gone from beetles and aphids this year. So lots of water and attention and maybe some more ladybugs.
I'm walking in and I see a little grasshopper by the door. So since we're talking about bugs, I have to show you this little guy too. He's little. All right. Now we'll go in. So we are working on some things. The cases are open. We're going to be taking down the Floral Fancy and setting up for Grace here soon. But this was such a fun box. Yeah, they're just beautiful. Can't wait for all of you to get your floral fancies. So we are back inside. I just had a little bit of lunch and we are going to look at some doll things. So this is fun. We're going to look at a couple of samples that are in the sample process, some things that are not quite yet approved but are almost there, and then we're going to look at a couple things that are approved to give you some fun sneak peeks for what is happening with Elowin in season 3. So we're trying not to give away too much, but we want to have some dolly fun in this video and give you a peek into some of the things we do, because it is a day in the life after all. So let's go over into Christopher's studio and chat some fashion.
Hi.
So it's Ladybugs and fashion today.
Yeah, it's another day at work.
Another day at work.
Tuesday at the office.
So I thought it would be fun to share a couple of the samples and things that we have going on.
Yeah.
And I think we should start with the Christian Dior bar suit. I mean,
the new look changed everything.
Yep.
So we have something that we're actually still editing. This is probably the home stretch. We've got one more that we're waiting on, but I've done some redirecting of this a couple of times, and they've been very amicable and helpful. So we've got a really lovely 2-piece ensemble, very heavily inspired by the Dior New Look bar suit. And we've got sort of a nice deep ivory jacket with snap buttons all the way down the front, and then a beautiful, nice ruched and sort of accordion style skirt, fully lined. And this gives you a really nice big sort of silhouette and a very, very small waist. Now this we've gone to, we've done a couple of things with this a couple times. So I actually have an alligator clip for hair in the back right now to sort of show them how much I need taken out of the back without deconstructing it and sending a whole bunch of other hullabaloo. And that at least gives us the illusion in the front of something more tailored. Whereas if I take that out, you can see that we still have a little bit of extra zhuzhing, a little bit of extra room. It doesn't quite sit the way that I want it to. The entire appeal to this gown, and I think the reason it was so game-changing and profound, is that it was really severely tailored, and it created a sort of sculptural appearance in the bodice and in the jacket. And I don't feel good about trying to pay homage to this if it's not done really well. So one of the things that I did when we got our last sample jacket in was tell them, because they were sort of struggling with that shape, is I had the idea of putting hip pads into the jacket. I said, I know that's not kosher, right? Like that's not exactly, it's sort of a jerry-rigged approach, but I was able to take some floral foam and I chiseled away the shape into what I needed it to be with a butter knife. And I laid this under the hip of the jacket and I said, can we get hip pads in the jacket to form to her body? And they actually came back and they put foam pads inside of this jacket. So we have a really nice shape around the hip, but I want something still a little bit tighter here. So we will see. We're waiting on one last edit, a revision for this jacket, and we're working on some head accessories to go with them. This was displayed with a number of hats. Mainly, most notably, a sort of nice rounded straw hat, a big wide brim, not quite a saucer, but something of that size. And so we have a couple of options. We're looking at shape with something like this. I think getting a cream hat and a black hat would be really nice for this, and a couple of different maybe ways to wear that shape would be so fun. So we're everyone's been a resounding echo chamber of, you know, we want hats and we hear you. We're working on hats. So this is obviously not the finished product, but it is giving us maybe a place to start for this ensemble. And we have a couple of other pieces in a lineup with this as sort of a miniature collection we have up our sleeve. So look forward to that. Keep your eyes peeled for perhaps a little maybe 50s sort of couture time capsule. And that may be something on the horizon, maybe not very far away. So keep that in mind. I'm very excited about this one, especially if we can get a nice big hat and get that waist cut in. I mean, I think that is so elegant and so fitting for Grace, actually. I think it's very flattering on her figure, and it makes sense also for the character we've created of Grace. She's timeless, she's classy, she's feminine, she is sophisticated, and I think Dior as a brand really encompasses that. And this particular moment in their sort of oeuvre is very, you know, game-changing and iconic. You know, again, that word sort of gets used carelessly, but truly iconic. And to be even sort of able to do something adjacent to that, you know, sort of just in homage, is very exciting.
I'm very excited about this one. Let's show them the other hat too.
Yeah,
so we have a couple hats. Yeah, a couple hats, and everything that looks good we're going to try and get. I love that one too. Yeah.
This again is the same sort of material that we have as the sample. So it wouldn't be done in this exact sort of material, but it's sort of just like a styrofoam that is put into place, but the shape is delightful. And I love that little tulle netting ribbon tied around the back. Really sweet, really cute. And even if we didn't really change anything to the color of the netting, I think that would fit in with the costume very well. One of the ways that this is styled over and over again is with black leather gloves. And lucky for all of you, we have a number of black leather gloves that we've issued. So there will be no shortage of accessories for this, whether or not they're issued, you know, in live time or in your closet. We have a, you know, that's the beauty of a closet, is you can go back and reach for it. This one really is such a dream. I think this is a mile marker for our little brand and like our company and what we can do. I think so many of our pieces have been really incredible and things that I'm so proud of. And watching this sort of trajectory grow and evolve and change is in itself really exciting. And this in some way feels like a new bar to set. You know, the bar outfit sets a bar.
The bar outfit sets a bar. Yep, I love that one. It's one of my personal favorites. I actually sent this to get a sample without even telling Christopher, and then we got the first one and we were like, oh dear, so we had to do a lot of edits. And this one has been edited, I don't know, 4 or 5 times
at least. Yeah,
but
it's gone through it, but I think we're really getting somewhere good. So I'm excited about this. There are a number of other pieces that we will sort of work with that.
Let's talk about blue tea for two. This one was 0 edits.
Yeah, this was again another one that you just fell in love with and sent. This we have on the calendar for season 3 for Elwyn. So we've sort of teased about the theme a little bit already in the past, but she will be spending her time maybe more leisurely, perhaps at home. She's had a long year of travel and is going to be enjoying some rest for the next little bit. So this is something that we are going to issue for season 3 that will have some really lovely add-ons.
Look at this.
Yeah.
It is so cute.
It's beautiful. It's very feminine, it's classy, but a little bit modern, and the little bow details are so cute. The skirt has some great structure, so it's really made to keep that shape. It's really lovely. And this organza is just, I mean...
It's to die for.
It's so good.
I love this one.
Really nice.
We've had this one up our sleeve for, gosh, probably a year.
It's been, yeah, almost.
So.
It's been a long time. So she'll have sort of a maudlin, perhaps not quite despondent, but you know, a tea party in her feels, as Elwyn is prone to doing. And actually, this will be the sort of star of one of the months, but there are other pieces that will be companions for this month that are really elegant. This and the other 2 pieces that come to mind are all crafted by Ruby Red Galleria. So there's a really good lineup this time. I mean, I don't mean to say that anything we've done so far has not been up to par, but Ruby's craftsmanship really is unparalleled, and we have a lot of their help for the coming seasons.
Yeah.
I'm very excited about that.
And we try to just, when we say it's really good, we try to make everything we do really good.
Exactly.
So that's like, if it's coming from us, then we really need it and want it to just be the best it can possibly be.
Yeah.
So that's how we are going to earn our staying power.
Yeah.
Let's talk about another add-on. We've got this,
Oh, yeah.
This is just a fun, sparkly number. We don't have a whole lot of green in
That's
Elwyn's
true. It's
world.
a fun little party dress. So this will be an add-on for a different month in the box subscription, but a really lovely just throw in for any occasion. This will have a particular occasion, so we will leave you to guess perhaps what that is. But this will be an add-on that we have. Really lovely. I think sequins can be really difficult to do in scale because of the scale. You know, small sequins are not always very easy to get. And so this really dazzles, especially in some nice direct light. This will really sort of really come to life. But you've got a sweet little simple waist detail there, and we will have some accessories that are, you know, coming with this sort of month, and I'm excited about this one. The box outfit for this is, I'm very excited. That's another one that has taken a lot of time and a lot of editing and a lot of, you know, tending to with care. So I hope that that one is one that people really enjoy. I always hope that people like whatever we're doing, but that's another sort of brainchild that I've been sort of determined to really get right. So this month will be very exciting. You'll have lots to shop and lots to celebrate. This will be a really fun one.
Yeah, we are so excited. We are, of course, very deep into season 2, but we over here are very deep into season 3.
Yeah, we are.
That's how it works.
we're about a little over halfway done with what is, you know, necessary for sort of conceptualizing and creating and all of the initial steps that go into what the subscription is. We have a lot of that done, but we are also on a time crunch, and maybe with a newfound time crunch considering socio-political economic things. So the season 3, I mean, when I think about it kind of on paper, season 3 actually is like already almost done. Like we need to be pretty soon looking even farther out in the future.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. So thank you for everybody that's been so emphatic and really jazzed about Elwyn and the subscription and season 2 and Anne and Grace and keeping that afloat, because we have more in store for you. It's on the way. This will be fun. We have, to your point earlier, and everyone, you know, asking about it, we are working on hats. So
yeah, hats have proven kind of difficult, actually.
Hats are hard.
Yeah.
We have some sort of other related nice big wide brim sun hats that I will not disclose too much about, but really lovely fabric, really, really almost satiny. And this is a nice, beautiful, stiff, bright, clean, crisp hat. So we'll have some options that fit Elowen's head or that of all of her friends. And we're also looking at some sample shapes for different hats for Grace. Some of these are in the works, some of them are not, but we are always trying. So when we get samples in, this is often what we're starting with. We get things that are on the sort of simple side of samples. Clearly, this is one that we didn't go with. It's not quite right. There's a couple things that should be different about this if you were sort of looking at a particular style or era. But this is cardboard that's been molded into shape and cut and taped, and this one is labeled number 2. So we did end up altering one of these hat samples. There's a couple that we could see sort of going forward with, but time will tell. They're cute. They're not quite right. But the other thing to consider too is a lot of hats, a lot of sort of historic hats are depicted in such a way that they would almost be, it would be necessary to be worn with like a fascinator comb. So not every single hat is necessarily designed with a dome that would go all the way over her head. So if you're wearing a rooted wig, or if you're playing with a rooted doll or a wig doll or whatever, and you've got a lot of volume under the dome, sometimes it's sort of meant to be delicately perched. But this is one that we'll sort of revisit later. We're working on some hat options. We heard you loud and clear. And in the meantime, we are, still working on some other tricks up our sleeve. There will be some really other there's going to be some really beautiful lacy pieces. There's going to be some really beautiful beaded pieces. I mean, I think we're bringing out some beautiful, exciting fashion for season 3. And I think one of the things that I'm most excited about and already feel a sense of pride in is I think we are, as the sort of inheritors of Elowen's story, that we are getting an even more refined glimpse into her world and capturing that slightly more acutely, maybe even more authentically. That's something that I try to be mindful of, and I, handle with care, that Elowen's existed for a long time, and it's a responsibility to sort of care for that. And how maybe can we, if we're able to, continue bringing new life into that with Robert and with us. And season 3, I think, does that in a very new and exciting way. So I'm I'm looking forward to that. And Grace is turning out to be a fabulous journey. We will just let her speak for herself. Time will tell. And I will say only one thing, and that is, I thought, like in a little part of my brain, I thought that the month of May might be the best month for the whole subscription for Grace. I had seen the lineup months and months and months and months ago, and I already sort of picked my favorite. And now that May is here, we have done some other projects with Grace, and I am blown away by what we are planning, truly blown away. So if I can say that we've topped even my, very greatest expectations, then I'll toot that horn. I think we have some things that are coming down the pipe that are even better than what is currently my favorite. And my favorite is gorgeous, but it's not ending here. The finale has, a long way to go. It's gonna be good.
All right. Thank you so much, Christopher. This was so fun. Bye.